Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Shakur. 50 Cent is set to do a documentary about Diddy and all of these allegations against him.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Shakur. 50 Penny is set to do a narrative about Diddy and these charges against him. How about we get into it? As per page 6 of 50, who's had a decades-in-length on and off fight with Diddy, is preparing his creation house on doing this narrative on the beset terrible kid mogul 50 Penny has declared that he will be chief delivering the narrative on Diddy and enduring Diddy. A lot of sibling adoration can cost you, okay? So it seems as though 50 Penny isn't backing off on Diddy at any point in the near future, and each time we feel that he could be backing off on the tension he's putting on Diddy, he pulls a significant move that leaves us confounded. Well, this time he is currently concocting a rundown of rappers with whom Diddy took part in freak-off meetings, and heads up, the rundown is longer than you suspect, since it just so happens your favorites have been associated with some genuinely freaky stuff with Diddy. Chile. 50 Penny's narrative will be discharge you all, and I can hardly stand by. I've never loved 50 Penny besides the fact that 50 Penny dealing with is a Diddy narrative, yet all the returns will help the casualties. 50 Penny is on a mission, and by he has Diddy deliberately targeted of his determined savaging. Being 50 is known to be something of a significant savage, yet it seems as though he implies serious business with regards to Diddy, since he has kept his foot on Diddy's neck, since a few ladies emerged to talk on Diddy's supposed awful way of behaving, and furthermore, record claims against him. Yet 50 Penny isn't simply happy with the lawful dramatizations, since he is currently professing to have within scoop on Diddy's mysterious tricks. Cassie's claim acquainted use with the crazy universe of Diddy's cherished previous time, which he alluded to as oddity offs. Well, 50 is currently going above and beyond to guarantee that male escorts were not by any means the only men who were available at the oddity offs, on the grounds that a portion of you our number one rappers were additionally there for some setting. Cassie, Diddy's ex, who he dated for around 11 years, spilled the tea in a claim that she recorded about a month prior, and young lady Cassie's claim had some serious, quite hot tea. Cassie dropped stunners blaming Diddy for putting her during a time-long thrill ride of maltreatment. As per her, Diddy wasn't your customary sweetheart. He was more similar to a mannequin ace coordinating an upsetting show. We're talking drugs, actual attacks, and some truly disrupting exercises, including numerous male escorts, all while Diddy watched and partook in the scene. Now, the Cassie Diddy circumstance began back in 2005, when she was only 19, and it at long last came crashing down in 2018. Obviously, Diddy denied the claims, yet individuals don't leave him, which isn't shocking given the numerous charges that have been made against him for 2 or 3 weeks. Presently, individuals have been asking why the police have never opened an examination concerning Diddy. I mean, the things that Cassie said in her claim were so awful, and a ton of it edged into crime. Well, word on the roads is that Diddy has the police in his pocket, and his impact is the explanation that he has figured out how to avoid lawful difficulty. Discussing Cassie's claim against Diddy, genuinely upsetting without a doubt, in light of the fact that the claims that were brought against him are wild to such an extent that they nearly appear to be unbelievable. The court reports continued forever about some truly dull stuff, discussing how Cassie was fundamentally a detainee in the relationship. As per Cassie, she wasn't in that frame of mind up relationship. She was basically dealt by Diddy to showcase his wild dreams, which he alluded to as oddity offs. Cassie had no contribution about the oddity offs, in light of the fact that Diddy constrained her to take part in the oddity offs regardless of whether she needed to. Diddy employed male escorts, flew them out, and had them wear covers prior to participating in the oddity offs. She likewise uncovered that Diddy would play chief during freak offs, guiding her when to do it and how to do it. The settings for these capers were in every case some extravagant and top-of-the-line areas like the Trump Global Inn in the core of New York City. Cassie likewise guaranteed that Diddy had this unusual interest with watching her get cozy with different folks, and evidently he picked a few elegant areas for his unparalleled view to the bizarreness. On the grounds that as a tycoon, he needed to have the most elite in any event. For his oddity offs, as per the claim, the initial time Mr. Combs recruited a man and carried the man to his home in Los Angeles. The man, Mr. Combs, and M. Ventura wore disguised veils and ingested drugs. Mr. Combs coordinated M. Ventura to perform private demonstrations with this man while Mr. Combs watched them. He got off to it while he guided Mrs. Ventura and the man to do explicit private demonstrations the whole Arians endured several days. Mr. Combs started to call the plan an oddity off or foe. He would over and over tell M. Venture at arbitrary minutes that he needed a foe, and M. Venture was in the end expected to work with the area and the employing of male escorts. Yet that is not all, since Diddy additionally used to compel her to utilize drugs before the oddity off. She said Mr. Combs consistently provided Miss Ventura and the escort with plentiful measures of medications previously and during the fast. Miss Ventura was given delight cocaine, GHB, ketamine, pot, and liquor in unnecessary sums during foes, which permitted her to disassociate during these horrendous experiences. It became normal spot to get IV liquids in the days after a foe to recuperate from the unreasonable substances pushed upon her. Miss Ventura was expected to spruce up in unmentionables for a foe, and Mr. Brushes demanded she wear white, nail clean to balance her nails with the skin of the people of color he recruited to get physically involved. With her, she likewise uncovered that he did such countless things to hold her under his influence, like constraining her to convey his weapon in her handbag just because he could. The reports expressed on no less than 2 events. Mr. Combs requested that M. Ventura hold Mr. Cole's firearm in her Percy. Miss Ventura had no experience with firearms and was frozen that the gun would unintentionally go off in her purse. There was not a great explanation for why Mr. Combs expected her to hold his weapon but to support to his young sweetheart that he was fierce, strong, and hazardous. This was peculiar, yet as per 50 Penny, Cassie left out a ton of things in the claim, like the way that Diddy had different men in the oddity offs. Now we don't be aware without a doubt, assuming the oddity offs with Cassie were a similar oddity offs that Diddy had with the rappers, yet that didn't prevent 50 from spilling considerably more tea, and he hauled Jay-Z into it since the sensation news about Cassie suing Diddy dropped. 50 Penny has been determined to spill every one of the chaotic subtleties, and as of late, he took it up a score by uncovering Jay-Z's supposed association in Diddy's questionable adventures. Now we as a whole know Diddy and Jay-Z are more tight than tight. Diddy even uncovered that his mother and Jay-Z get the honor of calling him by his most memorable name, Sean. There's just a single individual ongoing, and I call him Scene. That is Jay-Z. We call each other Ocean. Okay, definitely. Oh, other person, consider me Scene. He's the main individual who sing. There's not a solitary individual that ought to be no beyond my mom. Okay, they ought to call me, no doubt they ought to call me Scene. They have serious areas of strength for this, yet presently 50 Penny is proposing that perhaps, quite possibly, there's something else to Diddy and Jay-Z's association besides what meets the eye. Better believe it. He's indicating that their manly relationship could have a few obscure connotations. It's not unexpected for see the reason why 50 Penny would drag Jay-Z into this, since supposing that there is one individual that he appears to have some significant quarrel with beyond Diddy, it's Jay-Z, and they've had their reasonable part of hamburger traversing more than 20 years in the past. 50 directly blamed Jay for purchasing his direction to the top, contending that there's no genuine rivalry since Jay-Z is utilizing his abundant resources to remain ahead. Additionally, 50 has spoken about how he finds it a wide range of odd that Jay-Z likes to allude to himself as Jesus. Back in a 2009 Drifter interview, 50 Pennies let the cat out of the bag about Jay's top dog complex, essentially professing to be the savior. He said he has a ruler complex. He believes he effing Jesus. You understand what I mean. This Jova is. I'm watching him. He offered something one time I could have done without those easily overlooked details, subconscious things for me. That is the troublemaker method. For getting things done to finish it off. 50 appeared to toss some shade at Jay, blaming him for deceiving those near him, like the previous Rockefeller craftsman Beanie Siegel. As per 50, Jay wasn't precisely paying special attention to the group. He was more about anything it took to line his own pockets. Not only 50 Penny is expressing this, there are a ton of individuals who figure Jay-Z could have passed on a path of obliteration en route to the top. Uncle Ron, who professes to be Beyoncé's protector, spilled the tea, asserting that Jay-Z and Beyoncé have been not exactly delicate with the individuals who thought for even a second to revolt against them. As per